Welcome in, everybody. It is the Michigan Basketball Postgame Live Thanksgiving Eve edition. Michigan down in the Bahamas, the battle for Atlantis, taking on Memphis, and they come out on the wrong side of a 71-67 score against the Tigers. Michigan did not have a very good first half. They battled back and play well at times, the majority of the time in the second half, and a opportunity a couple times with this game being a one possession game relatively late, under 7 minutes to go, to get this game tied up. But the plays, not the couple times they had the opportunity to get this game tied up, didn't happen. And then the late rally, not enough there for Michigan. Needed a couple things to happen. So now they've dropped 2 games. So 2 games in a row after winning their first 3. And what can you say? You know, the first 3 games for Michigan, not that I sit around grading each game like A, B, C, D, but Michigan in their first game of their opener, they got an A+ for me. They look fabulous. Everything that you would want and you would hope for, they did it. They followed that up against Youngstown State. I mean, I would have given them an A there. And then they went out and played St. John's. I gave them an A+. I mean, they looked as good as they did in the opener. So they're 3-0. And, you know, I don't want to say they're the talk of college basketball, but, you know, they were one of these early stories of college basketball. Look at Michigan out there with all these new faces and Doug McDaniel and Olivier Kamwa. This is looks like a top 25 team, all that kind of stuff. An NCAA tournament team. I said that myself. And then Friday they lay an egg against Long Beach State, and that game was I did not watch that game. It was not televised. I was trying to get there. It didn't happen. They had troubles with this diamond half court a press that Long Beach State put on them. And then, you know, tonight, a nightmare first half with the exception of Namari Burnett. I didn't like how anyone played in the first half, and that's just not going to cut it. I mean, like, however you want to look at things. I mean, you can't have an entire half where you can say, you know, one player played well for us. You know, not everybody's going to have it every half or every game, but to have just one out of your 5 starters bring it is not going to be a good news. To their credit, you know, they come out in the second half and make it a ball game, but in the end lose this one by 4. Well, let's go through it a little bit. You know, I've talked about some of the things that happen here, but nightmare first half, down a dozen. It was 37-25 at the break. Welcome back, Juwan Howard. Juwan Howard was on the bench for Michigan. He was in New York at Madison Square Garden, but he stayed in the locker room while Phil Martelli and the team was out on the court. Today he was there. You could see him. And, you know, it was strange having Martelli up and Juwan Howard kind of just sitting down there. Then a couple times Howard popped up and you thought, you know, maybe he was doing a little coaching or talking to the refs. So it's kind of a weird dynamic to watch that a little bit, but good to have Juwan Howard back there on the sideline. But then, you know, the getting down a dozen at the break, Michigan comes out. It looks like they're going to get run off the island, down 16, just 3 minutes in the second half. You're thinking, yeah, you're looking over Thanksgiving Eve. There's the controller, you know, maybe. But good thing you didn't do that. You know, Doug McDaniel, it was scoreless in the first half, 0 for 5. He doesn't score his first points till 13 minutes left in the second half. But then, you know, once Memphis was at 16, Michigan went on a 12-2 run. They got it within 6, within 10, 5 within 9, 3 with 8.5 to go, and then 3 with under 8 to go. And, you know, they had an opportunity to to get this game and to tie it up. McDaniel missed 2 free throws and also missed a couple shots there when it was really close. Wasn't his best game, obviously. And then the late flurry that Michigan ends up where, you know, they get this thing to extend things with fouling and then everything else. They end up Trey Jackson hits a three and they get within 69-67, but it didn't happen for them. They needed a few things to go their way with the late flurry like that, and it doesn't go Michigan's way. Now, let's take a look at the box score, and then I can talk about all the players and what I saw there. For you, if you're back and you are listening to this or watching this after the fact, Olivier Kamwa, nobody played well in the first half. Kamwa played well in the second half before fouling out. He played with 3 fouls for the longest time, picked up that fourth and then got the fifth, but had 18 points for Michigan, and that led the Wolverines in the scoring department. And Namari Burnett looked really good for Michigan. He's been a little bit of a surprise. I didn't know the kind of offense that he would bring to the table. He's been a positive through these 5 games. He looked good for the majority of, he carried Michigan in the first half. They'd have been down 20 or more if he didn't knock down the threes that he was hitting in the first stanza. Doug McDaniel, this is not one of his better games. Scoreless in the first half, doesn't score until 13 minutes to go in this one. And then when it got tight, where Michigan had a chance, he missed a couple shots and then missed a couple free throws. And, I was right there, talking about just how fabulous Doug McDaniel was in those first 3 games. And then, not there tonight for Michigan's point guard, Terrace Reed. You want to see a little bit more from him. Good defensively, but couple travels in the first half, just did not have that going. And then, Terrence Williams the second. This was the TW2 we saw late in the season last year where, he looked like he shouldn't have been out on the floor. Couldn't hit a shot. Just looked like his confidence was gone. And, they don't have anywhere to turn. So, that's going to be tough where you feel like maybe at times you're almost playing 4-on-5. Tough one. Hopefully he's able to get it back. But, that's a fact. I don't know about a fact. That's my opinion of what, I saw from TW2. Hopefully he can get back because, the first couple games, he looked like he had some confidence and was knocking down shots. Trey Jackson, he's never seen a shot he doesn't like. It's, he's not a black hole, because usually you think about a black hole, that's from somebody that's like a post player. You throw it down to him, you never get it back. But, Trey Jackson could be out on the perimeter. If he's open, it's going up. I mean, he's never seen a shot he doesn't like. He's not bashful at all. He had 7 points off the bench. Will Cheddar did not have it tonight. He was turning the ball over, and then some foul trouble, ended up fouling out of this game. Forgettable night for Will down there in the Bahamas. George Washington came in, fired up a shot, and that was it. But, this Michigan bench, they need Jalen Llewellyn back. And then, they're just, as you can see here, just 7 deep. And then they had 2 guys foul out. So they were in trouble. So long and short of things, Michigan with 3 really good games to start the season out. And then 2 clunkers, certainly against Long Beach State. Nobody was happy about that. And then the first half down in the Bahamas was brutal. And so now we see they come back. They go to the losers bracket, which sends them to, by my research, to a 7:30 game tomorrow night in the losers bracket. So that's where they will be. Thanks so much for watching this game. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. We'll talk with you soon here on the Maize and Blue Reviews. Michigan basketball post-game live. Michigan loses this one by 4. They fall to 3-2 on the season. Good night, everybody.